Dehydrate to store. Summer's just around the corner, and as the months get hotter, it's especially important to stay hydrated. Unfortunately, a lot of the drinks that you buy in the store can have a lot of sugars and artificial sweeteners in them, and a great healthy alternative to that is dehydrating your own foods and using them in infused water. Today we'll be showing you how to do that. Now, a few of my favorite ingredients to use in infused water are cucumbers, limes, lemons, mangoes, blackberries, honeydew, coconuts, mint, and basil. And we'll teach you today how to dehydrate all of them and then make several different recipes of infused water. So let's start with the cucumber first. So I'm going to peel the cucumber today, but if you don't want to peel it or you don't have a peeler, an alternative would be to just boil it for 30 seconds and that gets the waxy coat off. And you don't want to do it any longer than that. Then next we're going to cut these into 1/4 inch slices and dehydrate them at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And we don't like to waste anything in our kitchen, so we're also going to take these peels and dehydrate them, and then later you can grind them up and put them into breads or bake them, whatever you want to do with them. Next we're going to put these on a dehydrator tray, being careful not to overlap them if possible. Great, and next we'll prepare our lemons and limes. Now lemons and limes are really easy. You just want to cut them into 1/4 inch slices and put them in the dehydrator at 125. You can leave the skin on or off. If you do leave them on, make sure to wash the lemons and limes really well. Next, you're going to peel the mango, and you can either cut it into 1/4 inch slices or you can cut it into strips. And unlike everything else we've made so far, you will have to spray mangoes with some lemon juice or ascorbic acid. You can just put it in a spray bottle and give it a spray. And this will help maintain the mango's color and the vitamin C content inside of them. All right, and for honeydew, we'll just remove the seeds and cut it into 1/4 inch slices. With seeds, you can roast them or put them in smoothies. They're full of vitamins like vitamin B, E, and vitamin A, so make sure you don't waste those either. And I'm also going to remove the rinds. And next we're going to do blackberries. Now if you wash these right before you put them on the dehydrator, you want to make sure to pat them dry. We shouldn't put soaking wet berries on a dehydrator. And then when you do put them on the dehydrator, try to put the pointy side up as much as possible. All right, and next we'll do coconut. Now you can get a whole coconut from the store and cut it or shred it, but sometimes it's easier to just get a bag of coconut flakes and just put them on the dehydrator. If you do get the flakes, you'll notice that they're moist and soft, and that's the difference between a dry coconut and a dehydrated coconut. So today we'll be dehydrating. So just put them on the dehydrator like this. Now everything we made so far can be dehydrated at 125, but leafy herbs have to go in at a lower temperature. So mint and basil will have to go in at 110. So you can either run that as a different batch after this one is done, or you can get a second dehydrator. All right, now everything's been fully dehydrated, and let's take a look one by one. These are the lemons and limes. So as you can see, they look dry and they don't stick together. And also if you pick them up and snap them, you'll find that they snap. And the blackberries dehydrated at 125 also, but these we kept in for about 20 hours. So as you can see, they look really dry, they don't stick together, and they click when dropped on the table. And the coconut, this one is very dry as well, and this one we left in the dehydrator at 125 for about 10 hours. You'll notice that it's no longer moist and it crumbles easily in your hand. The honeydew we kept in at 125 for about 16 hours. This one is dry to the touch, doesn't stick together, but unlike everything else we've made, this one is actually flexible. And that's because the more ripe honeydew is before you cut it, the more sugar it has in it, and that will make it more flexible after dehydrating. The mango we left in for 12 hours at 125. It feels dry to the touch and it doesn't stick together, and it is a little bit flexible. The cucumber we left in at 125 for 10 hours. For this one, both the cucumbers and the peels feel very dry to the touch and they're very easily crumbled. Finally, the mint and basil we kept in for about 8 to 10 hours at 110. And they both feel dry, crunchy, and are very aromatic. Now I'm going to show you a few easy recipes that you can use to make your infused water. You can use a special water bottle that's made for infusing water if you have it, but if not, you can just put them into the water directly. So for my first recipe, I'm going to make something called the Pia Colada. And with all of these recipes, you can use any amount of ingredients that you'd like, but I'll just give you an example that you can do. So I'll take about 3 limes and just put them in a cup or into your infused bottle. And we'll do about a half handful of coconuts and about a half a handful of pineapple. Now I already happen to have the pineapple cubes in my pantry, and you can see our watermelon and pineapple dehydration video to learn more about that. So next, I'll just add water to my mixture. And then just pop it in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight if you can, and you're all set to go. Next, I'm going to make the Blackberry Buzz. So for this, you want to take a handful of blackberries, about 5 or 6 lemons, and about a quarter of a handful of basil. And now just add water. These ingredients would also taste great with gin, vodka, or even bourbon, and for kids, you can put them into club soda. Next up, for our summer refresher, we'll do a handful of honeydew, a handful of mint, and a handful of cucumber. And for our final drink, we'll make a mango mojito. So for this, add a handful of mango, a few lemons, about a handful or a half handful, however much you have on hand, and about a half handful of mint. And add water. And we'll put this in the refrigerator with all our other drinks. And here are my finished drinks. So I kept these in the refrigerator for about 1 to 2 hours. If you have time, you can leave them on overnight, and that will let some of the flavors seep into the water a little bit better. And if you don't want some of these ingredients in the water when you're drinking it, you can also filter them out. And if you have a whole family to hydrate, you can put all of these ingredients into a big pitcher and serve water from that. You can also use these ingredients to make infused oil. You don't want to add water to infused oil because that will separate out and creates an environment in which bacteria can grow. So dehydrated ingredients are perfect for this. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please check out our cookbooks and other videos and subscribe to our channel over here.